These are some kind of extreme money saving tips that help me keep a 50% plus savings rate over the past 5 years. Sometimes you gotta just trick yourself. Research actually shows that you get your dopamine high when you were anticipating a reward, and that's why actually online shopping can be more addictive than regular shopping because you have to wait for that reward. So a cool trick that I use in order to not buy stuff online is when I see something that I want to get, which with Instagram and everything else is all the time, honestly, I will go to that thing, I will add it, put it in the cart, and then I'll close my browser. Or if it's on Amazon, I will put it in the shopping cart and then just click save for later and close it. And honestly, you get almost the exact same feeling of buying it. It's exciting, it's kind of fun, and then you don't spend any money and you don't have junk you don't really need. And maybe if a week or two goes by and it turns out you did really need that thing, you can go back and buy it. But most of the time, if you just see something that's an ad or something that seems cool or fun, that's a really cool way to actually have a fun time spending no money. And speaking of money, your time is actually money. Just take a second and look around. All of that clutter that you see used to be money, and all of that money used to be time. Understanding this idea really put an end to a lot of my impulse buying. When you see that when you're throwing something away or donating it, you're actually getting rid of maybe $20, and that $20 might have been an hour of your life. So you're literally getting rid of hours of your life, or you're decorating your house with hours of your life. When you look at everything that you own, everything that you spend money on, is that you're spending this finite amount of time that you have on this planet for a shirt, for a fancier car, for a Starbucks. You gotta ask that question, is that really worth your life? Move over the last digit of your bank account. First off, you wanna set up a high interest savings account. If you don't know what that is, it's a savings account that's gonna offer a couple percent on your money. Like there's one with Webull right now that offers, I think it's like 4%. And then there's a bunch of other ones. I'll leave a link down below for the Webull. Plus, if you open and fund an account with them, you can get up to 12 free fractional shares. So some free money as well. So you open that high interest savings account, and then every day you look in your bank account, and whatever the last digit of the bank account is, you send that amount of money over to the high interest savings account. And if you do this every single day, after a long enough period of time, it will start to add up substantially, and it'll be in a separate account. So you just pretend that that doesn't exist, and then you can save that up to start paying off debt, buy whatever you need to buy, start building an emergency fund. Very simple idea, but if you're having a problem saving money, it can really help. Which leads me into my next one, which is cut reoccurring expenses. So we all have a bunch of reoccurring expenses that whether we spend more money or less money on them makes zero difference in our life. Like whether you spend more on your electric bill or not will not make you any happier. So look at ways to lower it. When you're getting a new refrigerator, maybe get one that's gonna use less electricity. Our electricity has gone up so much, it's disgusting. So this can really add up over time. You can also shop around at your car insurance, try to get that lower. Look at your monthly subscriptions, see if there's any of those that you don't need. Or you can even look at your phone bill and see if you can save money by switching to a company like a partner of mine, Mint Mobile, which is who I use myself. I've been using them for a while. Absolutely love them. Mint Mobile is premium wireless service starting at just $15 a month. Wicked cheap. And it is exactly as good as what I had before that was like a billion times more expensive. I noticed zero difference. It's also super simple to switch over. You do everything online. They don't have physical stores, and that's how they're so much cheaper, is because they don't have all the salespeople and the storefronts, and the overhead's a lot lower, and they just pass that saving on to you and me. And even though they are so much cheaper, they're built on the nation's largest 5G network, so it's really good service. They also have flexible monthly plans, so you can get more or less depending on what you need. Personally, I got the unlimited plan, but Meredith doesn't need as much data, so she has one of the cheaper ones. And currently they're running a sale where you can get anyone, even the unlimited one, for just $15 a month. Absolutely crazy. It's reverse inflation. I don't understand why other people don't do this. They just like to hurt us. So yeah, if you want to save money, check out mintmobile.com/Gabe, or go to the link down in the description to get started for just $15 a month. Be a weirdo, you know, like more than normal. I feel like this is where a lot of us get stuck. You have this goal to save money, start paying off debt, bettering your life, and then your friend invites you to a Taylor Swift concert that's wicked expensive, or to go out for drinks or dinner, or to go on a vacation, whatever it is, and you just feel this urge to keep up with your friend group, to spend money on different things, to go out even when you don't want to do those things. You just feel this need to fit in. This even happens with lifestyle inflation, where you buy a house, what type of car you drive, any of these things. You feel like you just want to fit in with people, and it's really good to embrace being a little bit weird, being a little bit different. Maybe it's getting into minimalism, having a lot less stuff. Maybe it's downsizing your house. Maybe it's having one car instead of two. Maybe it's even just wearing clothes from the thrift store and you're fine with that. Or like me, wearing all black constantly forever so that I don't have to go shopping besides every like 3 years. Embrace your weirdness. By the way, if you're enjoying this and getting any value, don't forget to subscribe. After all, it is free. Two-tiered money goals. If you don't know where you're going, it's gonna be extremely hard to get there. And this is why I like having two-tiered financial goals. So for me, my big financial goal originally was to leave my job. Very high level. And then I broke that down into some smaller goals, which was buy my first rental, eventually buy my second and third one. And I broke those down even further into 90-day goals, which is what I use this for and how I set every goal that I have now. So the first goal for me was to save $10,000 and then eventually save $25,000. And then the goal after that was to buy my first rental. And then I started over, I had to save money again because I used it all. And then the process continued and then eventually leave my job. So think about your big goal, break it down into a 90-day goal so you know your next step that you can actively shoot for, and then keep track every single day of how you can get closer to that goal so that you know that you're making a little bit of progress, whether it's getting out of debt, whatever it is. If you break it down so that you know if I save $27.40 a day, I'm gonna save 10 grand over the next year, and that will help me pay off a lot of debt or whatever it'll do for you. You need to break it down. Also, so many people ask me what journal I use. This one's a finisher's journal. I'm sure there are other ones that work well. This is just the one that I use. It's a 90-day goal journal thing. I like it. There's a link below, not a sponsor, but it is an affiliate link. Just do the math. Let's say that you buy a coffee machine for $200 and making a cup of coffee at home cost 55 cents. But buying a cup of coffee might cost $5 when you calculate in gas and everything else. So how long would it take to pay for a $200 coffee machine? If my math is correct, it would only take about 40 days to pay for the coffee machine. Or if you do what I do and you just have like a Chemex, this kettle, a grinder, really good coffee, you can have way better coffee than you can get almost anywhere for a fraction of the price. And you should do this math with a bunch of different things. It is way cheaper to buy the best steak and lobster food at home than it is to go out and have like an average meal. And sometimes whether it's buying a new appliance or even like we talked about with coffee, it's actually cheaper to spend money and buy something that will save you money over time. Sometimes it'll pay off in as little as a month or two, and other times it might take 6 months to a year. But if it'll save you money over the long term, it might be worth investing in it. Have a cheap wedding and wedding ring. I'm gonna make a lot of friends for this point. The average cost of a wedding in my state is $30,000. That's more than the down payment for this $500,000 property that we're in right now because of how we bought it. Starting off your life and your relationship by spending that amount of money is, in my opinion, kind of stupid for most people. For some people, it might be worth it. For me, I think it's one of the worst decisions you can make unless you have like an insane amount of money. You're taking one day of your life, and instead of setting yourself up with a rental that you could leverage and in a couple of years be out of your job, traveling the world, having an incredible life, spending time with your children, not working at a job you don't hate, you're taking all that money and just burning it right on one day. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Same thing with a wedding ring. Spending 10 grand on a wedding ring doesn't make a lot of sense. Even if you can technically afford those, having a cheaper ring really won't add anything or take anything away from your life. The once a week rule. This one's pretty simple, and that is to make it a rule that you only go to the grocery store one day a week, and you're just not allowed to go besides that. If you starve, you starve, but you can only go one day a week. Kind of make it a game, and that really encourages you to plan out your meals, because otherwise you're not gonna have enough food. It'll make you shop your own pantry and use stuff you already have lying around the house, and it'll eliminate just going to the store every couple days to get random one little thing that you might need. Really adds up over time. So just set that rule, make it a challenge, make it a game. It's very fun, and it saves you a lot of money. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, don't forget to subscribe. You can also check out this video right here on some saving money tips, really good, and I'll see you in the next video.